into the sky. Now Matt has discovered a way to get the laser to pop all the way in the clouds. In theory, that's what starts a storm.
Hello everyone. Have you ever looked up at the sky and thought about how mysterious Mother Nature is? Okay, here's a question that will make you think. Are lasers being used by countries to change the weather? It sounds like a story from a science fiction movie. But you never know what's up there in this day and age of amazing technology. So, is it just a crazy conspiracy idea? Or is it true? Today, we're going to talk about weather control, lasers, and government secrets. Let's get started. The strange question, are governments using lasers to mess with the weather, has been getting a lot of attention lately. Many people have different ideas and views about this important question, which makes it a popular subject for conversation. On one side of the argument, some people are sure that governments have been using laser technology to make clouds and change the weather, which could be a very useful tool for stopping disasters like floods and droughts. Skeptics, on the other hand, think this idea is just wishful thinking because there isn't enough solid proof to support such claims. It's interesting that some scientific studies point toward the idea of using lasers to change the weather. As of 2018, a new study published in the prestigious journal Nature showed that lasers can create ice crystals inside clouds, which could lead to rain. There's no doubt that this discovery opens up a lot of possibilities and hints at a future where we might be able to somewhat control the weather. Becoming aware of such a power, however, comes with some problems. It steps into a morally murky area, which starts a huge discussion about what it all means. Even though the chances of stopping environmental disasters look good, some people say that messing with Mother Nature could set a bad example and lead to bad things that we can't predict. We are about to make a big change in how we connect with our environment. So it is very important that there is a lively and inclusive public conversation. With a tool this powerful, it's important to think carefully about the risks and benefits. People should be careful and smart as they go forward, making sure that the decisions they make are for the good of all people and our beautiful world. Even though the question is still somewhat mysterious and controversial, it does serve as a starting point for a much-needed talk about the future of technology that changes the weather. So, while the argument goes on, all that can be done is hope that truth and reason will lead to a world where technology works with nature instead of taking over it. Some people say that strong lasers could be used to zap clouds and control the weather in some unknown way. It doesn't seem likely, does it? We're talking about Mother Nature, who is a stronger force than we are. It's not a completely new idea to try to change the weather. It has been changed by governments and science for decades. There have been some strange experiments, like planting seeds in the clouds to make storms. Yes, that's a real thing. But with lasers, that's when this idea starts to sound like it might be a lie. Let's face it, the weather is very complicated. A lot of different factors come into play, such as temperature, pressure, humidity, and more. Does a laser really have power over all of that? It's like putting on blindfolds and trying to solve a Rubik's Cube. Why would anyone want to control the weather with lasers, you may be asking? There are some ideas though. Some people think that being able to control the weather could be used as a weapon, while others think it's about keeping farming stable or even stopping climate change. But let's not get too excited too soon. We need to admit our doubts. Most scientists and experts in the field are still very skeptical about the idea of using lasers to control the weather. They say that to do something like that, you would need a huge amount of power and accuracy. Also, lasers have an annoying flaw. They lose their power over long distances. There's no way to hit the target with a dart gun from a mile away. It is not exactly the best way to manage something as big and uncertain as the weather. There's more to the story though. Aside from the conspiracy ideas, governments and organizations all over the world are studying and changing the climate. They aren't using lasers to make clouds give up, but they are looking into more realistic ways to change the weather. One area of study that is still going on is solar radiation management, which means sending sunlight back into space to slow down global warming. Even though this doesn't use lasers, it does show how interested people are in finding ways to fight climate change. Finally, the thought of states controlling the weather with lasers is interesting, but it's not really true. Researchers are still looking into how to change the weather, but lasers don't seem to be the main tool they use. Crazy ideas are fun, but we should stick to what we know, which is that weather control is a lot more difficult than putting on a laser show in the sky. Keep this in mind the next time someone says that lasers can change the weather. We're still a long way from having that much power. For now, let's focus on more useful ways to deal with our climate problems. There's no laser beam that can replace working together and taking care of the Earth after all. Have you ever had the strangest thought that maybe, just maybe, the powerful people are quietly using lasers to control the weather and using our sunny days to test new weapons? Let us know what you think in the comments and send it to your friends as well. Don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to our channel so you never miss a new video. Thanks for watching.